Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, and I do, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below your purchase and pricing email question line for questions about buying this or any watch you see here on Watchbox Reviews. Email me at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we are talking about a legend launched in late 2018. This is the Grand Seiko Spring Drive US Edition Kirazuri SBGA385. An absolute monster. 40 millimeters in platinum with Kira-zuri dial and a hot-rodded 9R15 spring drive caliber. This thing is the bee's knees. So 12.9 millimeters thick by 46.1 millimeters lug-to-lug with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It's a 40 that doesn't really wear like a 40, and you can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, I would recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference because it wears incredibly well. Those short stubby lugs and the 44GS case style mean that the ergonomics are superb. We'll take a look at the hardware and the software, both of which are exceptional. The timepiece features a navy blue high gloss, large rectangular scale alligator leather with a folded edge, monotone stitch, and as you can see on the underside, a natural black calfskin. I don't know how Grand Seiko does this, but this brand new factory strap is as soft as butter. It's one of the finest I've ever experienced. The clasp, too, is fascinating because it does something I've never seen, whereas Swiss brands will use white gold inside deployant clasps of platinum to create a stronger swing arm. Here, Grand Seiko used the harder PT900 to create the swing arm part of the clasp and PT950 to create the buckle itself. I've never seen that, but it gives you a full platinum clasp with no corners cut. It's also a twin trigger release, so it cannot accidentally pop open. It is quite robust. Now, rolling to the case, I mentioned that 44GS nomenclature. That recalls the 1967 44GS, which featured a case very much like this, sort of a polyhedron. It's a mass of satination and polish, hard angles and curves, and you can really see that to good effect in profile. All of the polished segments are polished against a spinning tin plate, and the surfaces are mirror-like. They're held against the spinning tin plate on a Zalitz machine, and Grand Seiko calls this Zaratsu finish. A manual finishing technique. It creates what is effectively a hand-finished case, and while you're used to seeing black polish on the screws or the regulators of Swiss luxury watches, it's rare to see it on something as large and imposing as a case. The bezel is vertical and then slightly conical with a strong presence. The watch has a lot of hard masculine edges. The crown is slightly countersunk, and you can see the Kira-zuri pattern. It looks like a set of scattered, shiny, irregularly shaped and somewhat random forms in the background of a silvered base, and that's actually closer to reality than you might think, as the Kirazuri effectively means shiny painting in Japanese. So there were 3 of these watches, of which this model, made in 20 pieces, is by far the most exclusive. That's correct. If you look at the case back, you will see this is number 10 of 20, and thus a very special watch. Not only do you have the Kirazuri dial and the Zaratsu polished platinum 44GS case, but you have all handmade dial furniture, the aperture for the date, the hands, the indices themselves. All of these have been finished by artisans who are micrometric artisans using diamond-tipped milling tools to create these miniature metal sculptures. So this is a handmade dial in a handmade case. You'll note that the hands at center are both faceted and black polished. There's a power reserve for the 3-day reserve de manche, automatic winding. You can also wind it manual. The watch includes a hacking or stop seconds function, so you can stop the seconds hand, and then it includes a quick set function, so you can rapidly cycle the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. Since it is spring drive, note there is no stagger, there is no stutter, stop, or start to the seconds hand. It is a complete smooth operation as it moves around the dial. It's driven by a unidirectional rotating governing wheel. There are no motors, there are no steppers, there are no batteries or capacitors inside this watch. All the energy is derived from the spring, all of the motion is propelled by the spring, hence the term spring drive. But as the governing wheel turns, it creates an induced electrical current that wakes up a quartz oscillator. And while a standard spring drive is accurate to plus or minus 15 seconds a month, a hot-rodded spring drive with the gold medallion, a real gold medallion in the rotor, is accurate to plus or minus 10 seconds a month. This is the 9R 9R15 movement. Exceptionally accurate, includes the stop seconds, the quick set date, pivots on 30 joules with its 3-day power reserve and its power reserve indicator, and this is a watchmaker assembled, watchmaker regulated, and when the time comes, watchmaker serviced timepiece that is designed to last for life, not just the life of the owner, but the life of the timepiece. It is quartz precision with mechanical sole, and all of this is water resistant down to 100 meters. This timepiece is the bee's knees. The full package and one of the most luxurious, opulent, and certainly one of the rarest timepieces to hail from any nation. This is the Grand Seiko Spring Drive Kira-zuri USA Edition SBGA 385.